What is up, everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Camera Junkie live stream. My name's Luis, also known as Mr. Camera Junkie, where I remind you, as always, to upgrade your skills before your gear. If it's your first time here, welcome. Please be sure to introduce yourself into the chat so you can get the nice Camera Junkie crew welcome. And with that being said, the first thing that we always do hanging out here in the chat is go ahead to check out to see who are the first members of the crew hanging out in the chat. And I really do appreciate you guys, because today my challenges got the best of me. As you can see, I'm a little bit more behind the schedule, more than usual, so to speak. And it's literally because I lost track of time blindness, and lost track of time because I've been messing with the new Nikon ZR, which is what we're going to be talking about today. I'll get you some looks at it and how I've set it up, and some issues that I've come across with the camera, just particularly in my setup. And I've only had the camera for a little bit, so everything's new to me and I'm learning it, but there are some like drastic differences. One thing before I even get into the chat that is kind of like something that is good but bad is the LCD screen, and that's just foreshadowing for a little bit, and I'll touch on that in a little bit. But let's go ahead and check out to see who are the first ones hanging out in the chat. Right, and this is also where I remind you to hit the like button. It's free and it's highly appreciated, so go ahead and do that, and I can see them all popping up over here on the eCam side. So all right, right off the bat, we got Mookie in the house saying hello, looking forward to the first stream of the new year. That's right, Happy New Year. I was saying Happy New Year last week, but that's true. It is the first live stream of the year, and we're going to get things rocking and rolling for 2026 and also year 6 of the live stream. So we also have Parker Jennings in the house saying hello to everyone. How are you doing, Parker? See? Paul's doing the same, saying hi to Parker and to Mookie. But you know, if you want to see all of the like camaraderie, you got to be here live so that you can be part of the chat. But he's also saying greetings. We got Randy in the house saying hello to everyone, and he's also reminding you, see, please give a like. Yep. And he also says, by the way, Mr. Camera Junkie has the Z50 with the has a ZR, which is, full disclosure, I'm borrowing this camera, and everybody give the big W in the chat to Randy for allowing me to get my hands on this piece of kit. But yes, right now I have the Nikon ZR with the 50mm f1.4, which is not the f1.8, it's the 1.4. So it's a really nice piece of kit, and it's surprising that comes with it in the box. So just an amazing little setup, and I see why this camera was the most hype, you know, of 2025, even though it came out like on the later half of the year, but I can see why. So yes, that's what we're rocking right now, but we'll get to that in a little bit. We also got Gretchen saying hello to everyone. Everybody's saying what's up to everyone. Oh, Loneliest Wrist, how are you, sir? So what's up, everyone? Excited to see the new rig. Yeah, that's also foreshadowing, because I see that you saw my Instagram post. So nice to have you here. I believe it's your first time, and please be sure to share your name with us so that I can actually get to know you and call you by your name and not by your handle. Peter is in the house as well, saying hi, boys and girls. Happy New Year. Likewise, Happy New Year. Bokeh Bushido, Carlos is in the house saying hello, everyone. Congrats on the app, Lewis. Oh, that's a whole nother thing. Yeah, the app, that's something that happened last month in December. For those of you who don't know, what Carlos is referring to right now is how I'm getting this anamorphic look right now through eCam. And you know what, let's go to the cinema screen real quick, and let's just bring it to the cinema. We bring the black bars, and this is what I'm talking about, getting this, you know, extra wide, you know, view that you would get, the cinematic view off of anamorphic lenses prior to just this past December. Using one of these apps or one of these lenses on a camera was not really feasible because there was no application to support it. So if you were to use it, thank you very much for that bit of information, Paul. I would have not gotten to it for a long time. So let's start over because I'm going to try to use this as a clippable moment. So last thing that I said before I moved over here is now what you're seeing is the image of an anamorphic lens connected directly to the camera. And what you're seeing is 33% more information being squoze into the same imagery, causing a distortion, making things look elongated and long. And the more squeeze that you can fit into it, the more distortion you will get depending on the lens that you use. And prior to me making this new application, this is the image that you would get without the post-production workflow. And this is why we couldn't use a anamorphic lens for live streaming, because we wouldn't have the de-stretchability. And that's when I came in and decided to make an application. And last December, I hunkered down, and when I came up from air, I had a finished app at the end, which I called the MCJ Anamorphic NDI, which allows you to take a squeezed image like this that's distorted and unsqueeze it so that you can use it for a live stream. And let me see if I can get the correct scene right here, which this fixes it. And now you're able to do so, and not just for 1.33, but up to 2 times anamorphic. So the entire gamut of anamorphic lenses is now available to you for live streaming purposes or live event coverages. So you can use more of a landscape imagery with a lens in the back of a concert, let's say, and now that's something that will be available as an image to use on a live production because of this application. So thanks to Carlos for mentioning. But yeah, awesome things that are headed for 2026: rigs, apps, lenses, cameras. I'm super excited, and I'm glad that you're here with me to enjoy the ride. All right, thanks Paul again for unmuting me, so to speak. All right, let's go back over here. And all that talking and extra talking, let me get a sip. Yeah, I got lost in ZR land trying to match colors with the red. Could not be done whatsoever, at least in the limited time that I gave myself to set it up today. Definitely was not able to match colors whatsoever, and it's just gonna be completely different. So also, if you want, subscribe, because when I make the video comparing these two cameras, excuse me, comparing the first red to the latest red, it's vast different. But I really want to see how the R3D files play in post-production and what they look like, because there's a lot to go over. You know, I'm going to be shooting in RAW in both, giving me the flexibility to adjust it in post. But RAW is a whole nother monster when it comes to videography. So we'll I'll answer any questions that you guys might have just on the little bit that I've been able to mess with this week. Randy says ZR joystick and the LCD screen has touch focusing problems. Well, that's not even like the problems that I've been having. And I was speaking with Peter because he really didn't like the joystick on the back of the Nikon ZR. And as of right now, I haven't had any issues with it. I've kind of like, I understand it. And the biggest, or like the only issue that I'm still learning to get is to select with it, right? To like center it, because a lot of times I'm trying to press it dead center and it'll click down. But that's about the only issue that I've had with the joystick. Oh, Paul got the first one. Yes, sir. That was there last week as well. So thumbs up on the back wall between the two lenses toward the silver light. Yep. So let me go ahead and grab that. First hidden item selected, and that's a point for Paul right there. Mr. Matt Haas's thumbs up, which is also another time that always has me reminding to hit the thumbs up button. Oh, that's right. I caught some of the replay, and yeah, Carlos was hanging out with Peter in his live stream last night. Oh, thank you very much, Gretchen, saying hi. Happy New Year to Aiden. He's having a blast right now. I have to entertain him with an iPad. Says, yeah, Bokeh was the star. All right, Blake, nice to meet you. There we are. A pleasure, and thanks for welcome to the stream. We've been doing this for quite a while. Yep. Okay, now I'm getting the muted messages. I appreciate you guys. It says, I've been running two of your FX30 Ultra lights. Quite the perfect little solution. Oh, I appreciate it, man. If you can, send me some photos of them so that I can like repost them and put them on my story on my IG. I would appreciate that, man. That's so dope. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm really enjoying the anamorphic lenses. I've always been squeezing this shot here for a while, but the spherical lenses wasn't getting me what I wanted. And once I got my hands on these new Blazars, and right now, if you're wondering, I'm rocking the Blazar Beetle. This is the 33 millimeter, is it? Oh. 32. I knew it wasn't a 35, but it was an off number, so it's a 32 millimeter, but it compresses the image more like a 24 millimeter after all of the compressions and things like that. So it's a good image. It's close enough, like intimate when, like when you're seeing it, but then also giving you the width of it. So I think it's just more of a filmic shot. And that's why I'm also, as you can see, I'm throwing some haze in the mix today. And I did not get a smoke machine. I'm going to tell you what I did, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing to try to get some more haze in the ambiance over here. You know what? Look, I'm so late, I forgot to turn on all of my lights. Let's go ahead and do that now. See, I'm muted. Like, I swear to you, like, I've been doing this for 5 years. I'm professional-ish. All right, so let me turn on my Govee light system. All right, let's start with the Ecamm light. There we go. That shouldn't be that color. Should be that color. There we go. And the percentage should be around there. There we go. All right, now let's go to the, well, I guess you call them the tube lights. So now those are on. Let's give them some more saturation. 50%. 60. Okay. Am I missing anything else? Oh yeah, that silver dome right there, that's one of my floodlights. You see, all of these are off on the colors. That should be violet, changing. And because that one's should be 100%. Okay, there we go. Let's go to the list. You're seeing how the sausage is made right now with the lights. Oh, actually, let's go to this shot over here, the behind the scenes shot, because the next set of lights are behind my desk. So we just turned that one, as you can see, the violet throwing in there. And then I have another one. I'm looking for it, desk. And that's a wrong color, because it should be the same violet as well. There we go. I have to save all of these. All right. Oh, and right there you can see the violet. Like, that's usually not in the shot. Usually can't see the silver dome with the fog or the floodlight in there. Right, so we have the orange lights over here. Yep, I think we're good to go. Oh, that's the secondary. There we go. Boom. All right. So now that we got the lights on, go back to the track that I was speaking about, which was how I'm getting the ambiance here today, because I didn't get a smoke machine. This is sage, like incense, but they come in these neat little sticks and these bundles, and I get them off of Amazon. They're shipped here within hours. I use them to, you know, kind of like potpourri the home, and they also cause like a nice smoky mist. So if you don't have the money to invest in a smoke machine, and you might be on some type of production and you want some haze into your shot, don't hesitate to spend maybe about $5 on some sage from Amazon, and you can get the same desired effect. Plus, it smells amazing. At least I like it. You can see it works so well. Another cool thing is that I saw this on the Ulanzi website. With some of the lights, because the fan pumps through it, you could actually take your smoke machine or hazing apparatus and put it right under the fan, and you'll just see it pump it out through the light. So there you go, a little bit of a semi-pro tip, right? If you don't have a hazer but you're trying to get that effect, some sage, some type of incense, something like that, that can give you that same type of ambiance. Hey, it's a lot less expensive, and it works on the spot or in a pinch. Okay, let's see, where's my mouse? All right. Thank you, Paul. You helped me figure out the muting problem. The word "schools" always makes me laugh. I wish I could take credit for it, but hey, my pleasure, man. But like I said, hit me up with those pictures. Hey, DM Colorist is in the house. How you doing, sir? He's saying "What's up?" That reminds me of that "What's up?" I love those commercials. Putting the frosting on the cake. He also says, I own the ZR 50mm f1.4 kit myself. He goes, honestly, I haven't been shooting with it as much as I picked up the R50V a few days back. Wow. You got a nice set of cameras. So you definitely fall into the polycameras crew. Absolutely. Just having a variety of different cameras and lenses. Let me see. It says a few days back when the price fell to $569. Really? The R50. Oh, the R50 is the APS-C. That's right, man. That's a great price. It says it's an insane camera for the price. Yeah, I used that one. You know, compliments to Randy once again, for a little bit, and yeah, that's a really good camera. I wish I had done more with it when I had it in my hands. So show me another camera that 4K oversampled from 6K, time code, false color, also zebras under $600. Almost overlooked it at first. Yeah. It does time code? See, like I'm learning, because like I said, I really didn't do much with as much as I wanted to with the camera when I had it in my hands, but damn, time code is dope on such a small little unit. I don't think that's doing with the fan. But that's Peter asking. I'm over here just, I'm sticking my nose in their conversation. Let me continue over here. Says have to be careful with smoke detectors. Yeah, the only time is if I'm right next to it, but it's on the other side, but you know, we're good. Absolutely. You see, he goes, yeah, it doesn't have, but I picked up the Ulanzi clip fan. No smoke alarm, guys. We'll be good. Trust me, I use it when I'm not on the live stream, just for the smell, right? So definitely. It says I have the 0.71x Canon speed booster, makes it full frame. See, those are dope. I remember when what was the brand that was making so many of them? Oh, I think I have an adapter from them, don't I? Yes. Metabones. Metabones used to make so many adapters for the Canons to make them full frame and get like that image into an APS-C sensor. Those speed boosters are also amazing. And the fact that they actually increase the light output, because it's just like a magnifying glass. That's what most people didn't understand. Like, why do speed boosters give you an extra stop or something of light? And it's just like a magnifying glass. Oh, actually, here's an amazing demonstration. Is also because I decided to do the hazing. Right now, if you look at the light, right, you see the cone that is converting the light and concentrating it. But within the light output coming out of the light, you can see almost like a triangle of more intense light going to the center. And to tell you the truth, where that light converges, that point of light is the brightest. It's even brighter than what I have hitting the ceiling. And it is because it works just like a magnifying glass. The light that's going in through the speed booster will come in, and once it starts getting concentrated, it's just like when you concentrate sunlight to burn ants, right? Or do anything like that, start a fire on a piece of paper, etch your name into wood. Anything that you'd be doing in that type of manner is the same thing that the speed booster does. And that's why concentrating the light actually increases the overall light output, which is pretty cool to think about. It's amazing. But that's how those speed boosters would increase, not only give you the full frame imagery, but increase stops of light. That was also an added bonus, that a 2.8 lens would act a lot more, or you would be able to capture more light onto an APS-C camera with a speed booster in a low light situation, man. That's why, you know, even though I say that I'm pretty savvy when it comes to electronics, I still find optics like this, like just the glass and the magnification and how all these lenses are, like, that's magic to me, man. Like how the time and patience that it must have taken to study all of that and then make image, and like I said, that's magic. That to me is sorcery. Yeah, you can jam time code into that little thing. That's the entire reason why I bought it. Yeah, like that's an amazing little piece of kit, especially for under $600. And like, you know, I don't know if you bought it used, but still, that's a new or newish camera. Even if you buy it new, or I mean, even if you bought it used, that thing's like amazing. Look at that. That's amazing. Oh, that's so cool. Thanks for sharing. Because like all of this stuff I would have not known unless I owned the camera myself, because I'd be able to like test all of these things out and reverse engineer a lot of things and let my mind go crazy on what can or can't be done. Dude, that is so cool, man. Yep, Metabones. I have an adapter over there, but it's like a pass-through adapter. FYI, that actually allows me to run my Canon lenses on my Sony cameras through the Metabones adapter, but there's no glass or speed boost. But what it does do is that it allows me to use my film lenses that would normally give me errors on DSLR Canons just using them normally, because they wouldn't pass through any metadata, because they were designed for film. Like nothing digital, not digital cameras. So aperture, you know, like all of those things that could not be recorded onto film was not needed. So the connections on these older lenses didn't have that for the DSLRs, which would give the error 99 on all of the Canons. So with the Metabones adapter, all of those lenses work flawlessly because just getting that metadata through the Metabones adapter and not the lens itself. Boom. One of my favorite lenses. Do I have it up there? Yeah, that one right there. That Canon bad boys. That is a Quantaray. What is it? 130 to 400, but it's an APO. Every time I shoot with that thing, it just looks like a movie. Okay, so he says, I have the Canon native one, which I honestly haven't noticed any drop in the autofocus performance. That's dope. He goes, I have them for the Micro Four Thirds cameras, those speed boosters. They're amazing. Says, the one Canon made for the Cinema Series bodies. Oh, that's the one that you're using. That's cool. He goes, not sure if you saw my comment on the one of your vids. I'm moving on from my RPP. I didn't see it. Let me see if I could find your comment from before. I saw what's up. So no, let me put that back up. It says, not sure if you saw my comment on one of my vids. Oh, I'm moving on from my RPP. No, I didn't see that. Like, I hope YouTube gets a little bit better on it, because sometimes they put my comments in various different locations. Like I go into my YouTube studio and check for comments and they're not there, but like I would have to go specifically to the video and then start checking every single comment. Then sometimes I go into my YouTube studio on my phone and a bunch of comments that I couldn't find anywhere else are just sitting there, and it's almost weird. Like if one of the systems pulls the comment, it's just gonna kind of hold it there, and unless I go back there, kind of like Instagram, I won't see it. So I'll see what I can find. I'll see if with a new system or something, I could just look up your name and see what comments you left, but I'll be checking it out. See, no, it's brand new on Amazon. $569, man. Yeah, I have a story, something like that. Like I saw a car part. I mentioned it here before. It was the suspension for my car. It was like $600 kit, and I saw it on a listing on Amazon for the same set of suspension, or you know, the not the suspension, but it is it was a coilover kit for my car. So I picked it up for $56. $56, and I was like, hey, shot in the dark, let's see if it shows up. And I kid you not, that thing showed up for $56. The entire coilover kit, which I've been using for a couple of years now. Just amazing. I installed it myself and saved a bunch of money. Yes, I concur. Says, I have a client that we shoot 8 cameras. Is that what he wrote? Or is that B cameras? No, 8. I have a client that we shoot 8 cameras for a podcast. I was about to pick up another Sony. The ZV-E10 didn't seem to appeal me much, so I picked up the R50V for half the price. Yeah, you can't beat that. You know, you can't. Oh, mouse. Let's see. It says YouTube replies to reply never show up on notifications, so I go back to the studio every month to check to see if there's any not answered. I need to do better on that, but I need to produce more. We've been talking on comments for a good while. Thank you guys, because hey, this is part of the show. You guys make it what it is, but we kind of squirreled on a couple of other things, the sage hazing and stuff like that. But now let's get into today's topic, which is this amazing camera, the ZR, and what it looks like. All right, so let's go. Camera B, this camera right here, this is my red MX1. This is the original, and one of the originals, number 14 off the lot, I believe. It's one of the first 20 ever made, number 14. And I am so very fortunate to have it. I have it with a chromatic. Did I say that right? No, it's a diamatic lens. Let me see if I can read it. Acura is the brand. Diamatic is the style. And this is the look coming straight out of the camera, both the camera and the lens. There's really nothing on it. I got my flashlight because this, like, I was just gonna show you, you saw it right there, but this lens gives such unique lens flares, which is one of the things that I love. Is you can see it almost looks like a bird's wings because of the way that it curves in. You see? It's just such an amazing lens flare. Like, and this is character for days. Like, look at that. This is one of the things that I love about it, and is why it's on this red camera. So this is the look coming straight out of camera, and I was trying to dial it in, but whether it was the red color that I was using or trying to get the log footage out of the camera, this thing is just like, I wasn't able to match colors. So we're just comparing right now because I just tried to get the most pleasing look that I could out of both of the cameras with the little time that I had left. So this is, once again, the red MX1, the first reds ever made. And I need to look more information on the history of this camera to see what films it was actually used on, but I digress. I am lucky enough to have it here as part of my setup. So that's the image that we're getting out of it. And now, if I switch this correctly, this is the ZR Nikon, and I'm running the, which codec did I leave it on? Yeah, the red R3D, but it's the R3D NE. This is also being ran right now on the 50mm f1.4, and I do have it stopped down to f2.8, which was matching the red before. So I wanted to get this the same type of, like, as close as possible that I could with the settings. So this is the Nikon ZR, and it's an amazing image. Like, it's super sharp. It is like, and there's a creaminess to it now. As you can see, 25 years, no, is it 25 years? I think like 20 years of difference between these two cameras, which is vast difference. But with that being said, this is the look that we're getting out of it. I do have a LUT on it, yes, because I have it broadcasting in log, and the logs are just vastly different. Just to show you, when I'm gonna take off the log right now on it to demonstrate it, if I find my mouse, and as I do, you'll see it is really flat. Like, it is really flat. For example, on my MX here, if I'm running the log and I have a LUT on it, the LUT I'm usually running at about 50-60%, and then I just add maybe a touch of saturation, and that's it. That's all that I'm doing with the image. This one, the log is so flat that I have to run the LUT at 100%, which is something that I'm not used to doing. So let me show you now. 0. This is flat, as you can see, and this is the image coming straight out of the camera. You have a lot of flexibility, but it's not broken. Like, I'm giving you some some things in the foreseen, right? Is that how, am I saying that right? It's a Saturday night and I'm tired. But then also, like in the background, so we're getting all aspects of it, try to give you a very like complex or dynamic shot so that we can see exactly how this shot is looking. And I'm giving you like 3 focus points. And with that, as you can see, I don't think nothing is really breaking, whether it's the shadows or the highlights. From what I'm looking at here, this looks pretty good, especially as a log image. And then we just throw the LUT on it, and that's basically all I've done. That's it. And the log, I'm not even using a red LUT. I'm using the one that I had like loaded up into Ecamm. So this is actually a Cinecolor LUT for S-Log 2. So a Sony LUT that I use for my A7R2 right here, which I have in S-Log 2. And because of it, that's what I loaded on there. And this is the image that we're getting out of it. But I'm very impressed. Now, going back to what I was saying, some of the issues that I was having. I have, and I'm just throwing the disclaimer out there, I have a lot of cameras connected to my setup, right? If we come over here and we look at this, I have the OBSBot, I have the other OBSBot up here, I have the Nikon Z30, I have my A7R2, I have the MX, and then behind this LCD, right back there, as you can see the little LCD sticking in the back, just directly behind that pole, is where I have the ZR that I have posted over here. So with all of these cameras in play and they're all connected, oh, that wasn't the right one. This one, boom. With all of these cameras connected on the ZR, I was trying to connect it via USB-C. And whenever I connected it to my my Mac studio, all the words are running together on me, but let's get back on track. Connecting this camera directly via USB-C to my Mac studio, it was causing havoc. But now, what was happening? Well, it was freezing all of my other cameras and causing like kind of a reset. And it was even having issues with my anamorphic NDI application. At first, I thought it might have been that my NDI app for the anamorphic D-squeeze was the issue that it was causing, because it was the first one that was affected by it. Like, as soon as I plugged it in USB-C, that thing froze on me. And then I started seeing like, things happening on Ecamm. I turned that off completely, restarted my computer, Then when I connected it back up with just the camera itself, it was still giving me issues. Now, I had connected it already to my laptop over here, and it didn't give me any issues whatsoever. But at the same time, it was the only camera that was connected to that computer. So I want to plug another camera to it and try to test it again to see where it's actually coming from. Is it having issues being plugged in via USB-C with multiple cameras or capture cards in the same computer? Or is it my Mac Studio, which in all sincerity, asterisk, so to speak, it could be my Mac Studio. There's certain things that I kind of wait because I depend on this machine so much. I still haven't updated it to the latest, what's the latest software? Tahoe? I believe that's the one, Tahoe iOS 26. This one is still on Sonoma. I'm still rocking the previous iOS version on it because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So because it's working fine, I'm fortunate enough, I have the luxury that I have a laptop here that's running iOS 26 and also a Mac Mini in the back. So I'm not in desperate need of the latest version. And like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is what, allows me to make content. So I'm not rocking the boat, at least as of right now. But this might be one of the reasons that I might need to think again and actually start updating my main machine over here if it's causing issues with the multiple cameras. But I digress. With that being said, that's the issue that I ran across, which is what caused me to be late-ish, so to speak, because I started trying to fix that. And it caused so many issues it took more time than it should have. Then when I decided, you know what, just to get it to run, I'm gonna run it via HDMI, and then I got all the pieces that I needed for it, and I connected the micro to HDMI adapter, ran the cable, put it on the capture card, and now that's the image that you're seeing right now via HDMI connection, not USB-C. And that's the kind of like dummy proof, or just guaranteeing that you were just gonna get an output, because I knew the capture card and everything was just working, and it's just anything that you connect it via HDMI, it's gonna produce the image. And that's exactly what we're dealing with right now. So I am gonna look into it a little bit more, why it was giving me issues with the USB-C, but just being full transparent of what it gave me as an issue. Now, these images, this compared to the red, like I said, I was not able to get the colors to match, even when I was running them both on log and using the same LUT to try to see how the colors compared. Nothing at all. So I just gave up on that. But I am gonna go to the producer view, and I am gonna add both of these guys over here so that we can see it. All right. Now, these are both of the red cameras side by side. If I did it correctly, yes, okay, perfect. So red one is to your right, which is my left, and the ZR is to my right, your left. But it would be corresponding so that if I'm looking at this one, it should be to your left of your screen, my right. So there we go. So this is the look that we're getting straight out of camera on both of these, or through log, so to speak, and then throwing the same exact LUT. As you can see, they're not the same at all. Like, there's vast differences. There's a lot more saturation on this, like more orangey, the warmer skin tones, and this one is still running flat, right? And I think it has to do with how flat that picture profile is, because like I said, I have to run the LUT at 100% just to get it to look like this. But I would love to hear what you think about the contrasting image, the original red here versus the newest red's latest offering with the ZR. What do you think? Right. Let's go back to. Oh, let's go to the cinema. Let's throw the black bars on there. There we go. let's see what you guys are saying over here in chat. This is where Randy said that YouTube replies. Okay. Says you look like Kanye West on that thumbnail. Thank you, I guess. I usually get the DJ Khaled, not the Kanye West. Another one. It doesn't help that I'm in Miami, right? This is not going to be easy to match colors because the color science improved a ton since the Red 1 MX. Exactly, and that's part of it, but I'm going to try to see like in post-production, because the Red Raw, right? The log in Red Raw gives you so much flexibility. Even this older MX, like I've just played around with it a bit in post. Because that was a whole nother venture and rabbit hole of what I did to get the MX to be a functioning camera in 2025. FYI, I actually made an entire retrofit kit, and I took the mags, the red mags from the DMC2, and I retrofitted them into these cases, 64 gigs, and then did the whole like connection piece on the side to be able to connect it. And with that, I was able to get some deals on eBay, $50 a pop. So I got 3 mags of 64 gigs, which gives me, I believe, about 45 minutes to 50 minutes of Red Raw in the highest codec recording of each one, which is, like I said, a viable system. And to finish that up, as you can see, these are all 3D printed files. I also made a hub for them so that I could just connect this via USB, and then I'm able to, I put it upside down, dock it and transfer the files directly onto my computer. So I made the entire system to kind of bring the MX1 up to date in 2025/2026. And with that, that's why I said, like, I've been playing with these files, and you have so much flexibility in post, which is the interesting thing, because I actually had to run these cameras in log and not in raw, because there's such a huge difference. If I were to run these cameras like for a live stream in raw, if you thought that the ZR was flat on the profile before, oh, you don't even know it. And it is so underexposed, because you'll have the ability to bring that up in post-production, and that's what the raw file is seeing. It is giving you exactly, and unless I'm blasting like a light directly on my face, I'm underexposed for both of these cameras, hands down. So when I put it in raw, the file that I get to use on the live stream is just damn near unusable. It's too dark. It's just too dark. I can take the sliders on Ecamm, put all the brightness up, remove all the gamma, and I'm still way dark, underexposed. It says it's going to be easier to the 6th generation color science with the IPP2 workflows. Well, I'm going to find out. That's, I'm going to be making content around it, because like I am fortunate enough that I have both of these cameras, so why not like run them against each other? Excuse me. My lip is peeling. Excuse me. It says, it's not going to cut perfectly next to the Komodo X or V-Raptor and the V-Raptor XL. I know it's not going to cut. I'll be surprised if I can get them anywhere near each other, but that's going to be the fun part about it. Let's see what we can do, and if I can make it unnoticeable, right? Because then that's the challenge on me. Randy says, I usually put the ZR and SDR and use the picture profile of red or portrait. Yeah, And for live streams, that's like today I was really trying to match these with the LUTs, and I wasn't expecting that I was gonna get such a dramatic difference. But at the same time, I noticed previously that when I didn't have it in the R3D and I was actually using, I think it was H.265, but I put the ZR in auto and just let it do all of the automatic things and connected it via USB-C, and that was to the laptop. And I was impressed with the image. Just saying it like that. Like, if someone is not looking at this camera for the red, or the R3D file format to record in, which I don't see why they would. But if that's their thing, that they just like the camera because they love the big screen and that's why they get it, I was still very impressed with the image that a novice would get, just straight out of camera if you leave it in the full auto setting and just connect it via USB-C. Like, and I can say, from my other Nikon cameras, being the Z30 and the ZFC in the back over here, when I connect them and just let them do the auto thing, I hadn't prior to this really gotten an image that I was happy with. On those other two cameras, I was just like, yeah, I have to tweak it so that I feel that it's more feasible and more usable. The ZR, basically straight out of the box, nice image. Colors were good, vibrant, didn't really have to do much. I was impressed with it. I probably would have put a little bit more contrast, but that's just my style. Excuse me. Says you can use Ecamm with the settings to work with the picture profiles. Exactly, like I said, that's where I would add like a little gamma, to add some extra contrast, darken things up. Like, let me see, am I on the right one? Yeah, camera A. Like if I were to just, throw a little gamma in there, throw that darkness, start crushing those shadows a bit, I would do that. And that would be it. It says the 6th gen color science is designed to protect the highlights. That's why I like super dark and it's turned for a better roll off. Okay. Okay, so he said he was talking about the new ZR and the latest line of red cameras. Says the ZR is designed to cut perfectly with the next and the newest 6th gen color science found in the previous comments. Oh no, that's cool, man. I use, I'm fluent in typo. And I appreciate you sharing all this information. You seem very knowledgeable on the cameras that you do have, which is kind of like me. If I can get my hands on it, then it's just reverse engineering and testing out like all the like curiosities that my mind can like have. Like, I just had the ZR in my hand this week, but it's also been a very busy week with New Year's, with family, with my situation. I for you who are new here, some of you who might not know, I am a caretaker for my father. He is in the later stages of his life, and I'm also a caretaker for my son who was born 4 months premature, and he's also my mission and like my miracle man. He's the reason why I do what I do, and he's the one that Gretchen was mentioning before, Aiden, and wishing him a happy new year as well. So he's the one hanging out over there playing with his iPad, and I'm very, very fortunate that I get to hang out with this amazing guy because he is the light of my life, and I get to hug him and play with him and take care of him, and I am blessed because I have the ability to do so. So I'm very grateful for that. And yeah, that's me in a nutshell. And because of all of those things, I wasn't able to mess around with the ZR like I would like, and I'm gonna be doing more of this week. So I was finishing some editing projects, which I'm at the end of this project of, I lost count of the videos, 40 or 45 videos or something like that, but I'm at the tail end of that. So I'm excited to finish that off over the weekend. And then next week, I'm just gonna watch videos. And as I'm watching and listening to the videos, I'm gonna have the camera in my hands and I'm gonna be recording with it. But I want to get out of the studio as well. That's like my main goal. I have everything here, but I want to take both of these cameras outside. And I'm not gonna go to the beach or anything like that. I have a nice plot of land right outside here, which has a vast field, you know, plenty of space, so I can take this further back. And I'm gonna test a couple of things, because I'm gonna be testing, well, I'm gonna be very fortunate because I'm gonna be testing both of these cameras and I'm gonna be using the same exact lens. Like, for example, this lens that I was telling you, my Kura Diamatic, right? That one, I can take it right off of this red and throw it onto this adapter right here, which is my Nikon Z to M42 adapter. It's a M42 screw mount. Throw it on there, throw it on the camera, and then start recording with the ZR using the same exact lens. So the only difference is the cameras themselves and their color science. So that's how I'm gonna compare that. That and another lens, which I'm gonna have to finagle the way it's gonna be mounted, but I am gonna set it up, which is my red lens. Oh. Check out this bad boy. This is my Red Cinema 18mm T1.8. This bad boy. Bam. Check that thing out. This is red compensating for a lens. No, but 6.5, 7 pounds. This lens by itself without the PL adapter, but as you can see, my PL adapter is for Sony. But good thing that I also have this thing. It's not the Mega Adapt. I bought the newer Sony to Z. So I'm gonna put that there, and then this becomes a Z mount PL adapter, and I'll be running this bad boy and then throwing that on the MX1 just the same way and testing that image out to see what it looks like with red color science on a red lens. I was gonna buy weights, but I've been doing some curls with this bad boy. It's getting the job done. No kidding you, that lens is super, super heavy. Wait. Let me clear that up. Okay, so he says, I work with a few camera brands directly, including Red, Sony, Canon, Fuji. I help them roll out kinks and some of the prototype cameras. That's dope, man. Well, it's a pleasure to have you here as part of the Camera Junkie community, and I know we'll be in contact. I'm definitely going to be waiting for the images of the FX30 Rig Junkie kits, man. That's going to get me like excited, because that's where I get my I guess my creative juices flowing, right? When people are sending me the links to images of them using my 3D printed designs on their cameras. That's the best. There's nothing like it. I was just speaking with Brandon Washington about this, because I feel like with 3D printing and my designs, I feel like Lilu from The Fifth Element, right? In the scene where she just puts a pill in like the little microwave machine, closes the door, presses the button, and it just rings, bing, and as soon as she opens it, it's like a full turkey dinner that she's pulling out. That's how I feel 3D printing is, right? Like, there's nothing on my printer over there. I send something, go run an errand, and when I get back, there's something there that exists. And the fact that my designs are on other people's cameras and that they're being utilized, like, it's a completely different level of like dopamine, right? It's like a level of satisfaction that's just goes beyond just completing something, because it's just something that you're able to like pass forward. And I'm just super grateful that you're getting use out of it. So Thank you. So I was also one of the first Blackmagic product development team, which rolled out the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. Super camera nerd here, bro. You're in the right spot. So once again, welcome. Guys, we're a little bit past the hour, and I'm gonna have to give you a rain check. I would hate to start the year this way, but I didn't have the time. As you can see, I was so late that I didn't have time to set up a Cities Gaw. So I'm sorry. And for those of you who are new, Cities Gaw is a section where I usually close out every show every week with channels that I think you should go and watch. So let me know in the comments if you're seeing this. Should I give you 2 Cities Gaw next week? Right? Let me know. If you feel that I owe you that much and that I should have had it ready, then leave your comment and say 2 Cities Gaw, please. And if I see that in the comments, I'll make sure to drop 2 Cities Gaw, the one that I was supposed to do this week, and I'll just double up next week. So I can't wait to hear your comments. But that's it, guys. We did it. This was episode 266. And if you're wondering what that means, besides just the number count, it's 266 consecutive weeks. Yes, I said consecutive weeks of the Camera Junkie live stream without skipping a beat. That is over 5 years of doing this live stream every single Saturday, and I do it because it's my favorite place to be. And with people like Mr. Lonely Wrist over here, you know, just joining the crew and being an eminent part of just the Camera Junkie like mindset and what this channel is all about, I invite you to like, subscribe, especially if you made it this far in the stream. Like, subscribe, and make sure that you're also part of this crew and what we're building here, because you can set your clock by it. Like if you haven't done so, you can also give yourself a reminder that we're going to be doing this all over again next week, where I'll be probably doubling up on my Cities Gaw output for that episode. So make sure that you're subscribed, that you put the little bell to get notified, and also give Siri a chance to give you a reminder that 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the Mr. Camera Junkie YouTube channel, we're going to be doing it all over again. And I can't wait to see all of your smiling faces while we hang out here and we do it, just episode 267. And we're going to keep the ball rolling. So with that being said, guys, take care of yourselves and each other. And I can't wait to see all of your smiling faces right here next week. And until then, take care of yourselves and each other. And I will see you next time. Talk to you. And this is where I hit the button. You know what? We're going to do it, guys. We closed out the episode, but you know what? Let me bring down the music. Oh, that's right. He asked for it because we didn't even get to it. Oh my God, there's so much being done, but that's right. I'm going to talk about the new Rig Junkie design. He asked for it, so I'm going to do it, and I got no other place. So those of you who are still hanging out here, just let you know that that was the end of the live stream. So all of this is extra. Okay, and what we're doing here is that I'm just gonna clip this out after it goes live on YouTube. So that will be the end of it, but this is gonna be the actual teaser, and only if you're still here live will you be able to see it. So I saw your comment, man, and okay, so let's get to it. I got a lot of stuff here. Okay, so let's move that. All right. Talk about it. You know what? Let me disconnect the camera as well. Let me go ahead and take it down. Okay. So here we have it. Let me make sure that you are still in chat and that is not all futile. Make sure we got the thumbs up. There we go. All right. All right. So here we are. First things first, this does 32-bit flow and it's got the same mic setup as the Nikon Z30. So the same little fuzzy like mic covers that I got for the Z30 fit on the ZR perfectly. So this could be a decent solution, especially with the 32-bit flow, instead of needing to get, you know, the external microphone. So I digress. But then also to show you exactly how I had it set up, this is the HDMI connection, right? And the small rig cage comes with the clip for those connections. So I highly recommend getting the cage, even if it is just for that setup right there, because you can see the USB-C and the HDMI are clamped down. So it's going to prevent of those connections, even though they're small, taking damage in the future. So that's solid right there. Plus you can just disconnect it right here and then they both come off, and you don't have to really place them again. You could just literally just disconnect the bottom piece like I'm going to in a little bit. All right, so oh, that's the wrong one. Once I disconnect it, I can just unplug both. That's it. And those are there ready to reconnect. And then the only thing that I have to do is just put that there. But also to show you, I had it on a spare battery just to keep it charged up, because when you connect it via USB-C, usually you'll get power delivery while you're using the video source. So it does 2-in-1, like it does double the work. But because I was using HDMI, I needed to kind of give it that trickle power. And that's why I had it set up this way. All right, let's move this inside. And let's bring the hardware that I'm gonna be using. Perfect. All right. So there was a couple of prototypes, and let me just show you. First thing that I did was make sure that I got the correct size on the back, top to bottom, right? And we started measuring distances. As you can see, this is very hollow because I did it with lightning infill. Not here to waste plastic when I know that this is just going to be like a prototype for measuring everything out. Make sure that all the holes align correctly. As you can see, it still had the older design because I actually thought that I would have to move the back plate. This one I don't have to, because of the simple fact that it is substantially larger than the FX31 by 11 millimeters. So that was 11 millimeters on top, made this drastically different. So that was the first version of the prototype. Then came the second version, right? And I thought I had this pretty well nailed down, but as soon as I put it on the back, the one thing that I noticed is that this key piece, which is the reason why I cut this hole out here, I kind of mismeasured it and it was still behind the plastic. So I had to go ahead and make version 3, which had fixed this, which is exactly what we have here. And this one, with the holes aligned correctly, gave me the space to press the button down. And I was so confident. That this was gonna be it, that I printed this one out with the full infill. And I was like, this is it, this is gonna work. Go ahead and print it. And that's where, as you can see, that I have this cut out here because I did not expect the ZR camera to have an extra notch on the LCD. So you can see if it was, I measured it to this spot right here, and I wasn't putting into account this like extra bulge on both the front and the back of the LCD. So that little bump stop extra what was hitting right on that line. So I took my Dremel tool, cut it out, got the measurement, and then found out that it was gonna fit nice there. Once that was done, that's when I came with the final core piece, all the measurements, and I reprinted it in full. 15% infill, and is the final product. Also has the cutout at the bottom. For those of you who don't know, this is if you want to add an air tag to always track your cameras. These cameras don't have the space for it. Some of them, you know, like some systems have it. I also implemented it into mine. Let me show you the missing piece for that. That's this right here. And that's just my MCJ air tag holder. You're able to fit the air tag there tight, and then you're able to just snug that in there like so. I put these two little holes there so that once you put the plate on there, you can't notice it at all. But if you do have an air tag and you want to get it out, it usually doesn't come out that easily with the air tag in it. So what I did is allowed you to just basically like put a screw, something like that, just to catch on there and give you the ability to just like yank it out if you ever need to change the battery on the air tag. But air tag accessibility is already built in. And now just to show you how we're going to put it together. Now this one, because of the extra height in the core itself, it didn't give me the ability to use like my T's all the way down, but as you can see, like they weren't reaching. So if you have the ability to do so, I would recommend getting something like this. This is something that I've had from Hobby Lobby for a long time. It's just one of these like bendable extensions, because that's just gonna make the installation process a lot easier for this build, just because of that extra distance on there. So let's go ahead and do it. Now the other cool part about this is that like Miss, let me see, because I need to make sure that I got it right. I don't want to say the incorrect name. I usually go back after, you know, and rewatch the stream. And this is just something that if you didn't know, you can learn about me, which is if I learn something incorrect, I will always say that incorrect, which is why I'm making this effort to make sure that I get your name correct. Blake. Okay. Let me get my analogy. Blake. All right. I think I got it. All right, Blake. With that, thank you for the extra time. If you're like Blake, that you've actually been using some of my previous kits for like the FX30 or the A7C Mark II, then I've used the same exact top and bottom plates. Look, I'm looking at that camera, but is the overhead. So I use the same top and bottom plates, the Nicey Rig set, which is for the FX3, but it's a cheese plate, so it could be used with anything, so that if you had one of these kits for a previous camera and you get thinking about getting the ZR, all you have to do is get the core in the middle, and you'll be able to transfer all of the same pieces of kit from the previous Rig Junkie sets onto this one, which is just something that I'm gonna try to continue doing. So, you know, like if you did purchase the cheese cheese plates, man, I was gonna call it a cheese grater, but you can see it's getting late. But we're getting through it. If you're using the same cheese plates in the previous setup, like I'm just gonna keep that so that you can kind of like transfer them to whichever rig junkie kit you prefer. So if you change cameras in the future, you don't have to just buy one for each one. You could, but you don't necessarily need to, right? Because like me, I'm always rigging, unrigging, and doing all of these things. Boom. So we're gonna get things done. All right. First thing that I always start with the top piece, and let me get the rest of the hardware. And hardware in this case is the screws. Let me move this keyboard because we don't need it. All right. I got these. I got a bunch of these size screws, but the same ones that you're using for top to bottom, the regular size, like standard screws that you get on any of these like small rig kits or anything like that, you can use whichever screws. The tolerances are going to be the same. You see, like the smaller screws go either way. Anyway, first thing I'm gonna do, if I could get to it, is I'm just gonna drop the first two main screws right through the top. Just drop them down. These plates. And this is what I said, like, I'll try to. I wish I had a better shot, but in this case, as I have it sat there, this is where I say this tool comes into play. I'm able to just place it on the screw. And I'm tightening from up here. You know, I'm not really like busting my knuckles and using an Allen key, because the Allen keys, like I said, are not gonna drop all the way down to be able to tighten it. So you would have to do it, and it will be a lot of little twists, but do it the way that is possible. If that's the only way that you can do it, then do it that way, because this is something that you'll only have to do once when you set up the kit. Like, I put quite a few of these kits together, and I'll tell you, yeah, hands down, that's still the easiest way. Once you have them flush, I still take my standard and just, you know, tighten them all the way. Like, really lock them in. Step one, top plate complete. Now, bottom plate, we're gonna do the same thing. Bottom side has 4 screws. And if you were going to be using an air tag, this is the time where you would be installing it, right? Because as soon as you drop it in there, right, is where you'll be able to close it off, and you'll be none the wiser. Once again, using my flexi tool over here. Oops. As you get the first one in, the rest go in easy. Okay, that's 3 or 4. All right. And there you go, all four. And once again, lock them in. Just the last little tightening. And that's the core. And now, last but not least, the V-mount, which just like before, I take the two screws that come with this V-mount out, and then I'm gonna use them to lock them in through the back. Get my other screwdriver. Yeah. Not the flexi one, the solid one. All right. All right. Now that those are set back there, just gonna line it up. And that is the ZR Ultralight Rig Junkie kit pretty much set up. Now the last thing is, of course, you would have the ZR set up with the kit. One thing that I did, and you can do, is just, like I said, you don't want to do this a lot, but you are able to remove the battery door carefully. You don't, like I said, you don't want to do it a lot because it is a pressure fit. It is designed to come off. But if you're going to be running a kit like this, I recommend taking the battery door off that one time, just to be, and save it for safekeeping, just so that you have accessibility to both your memory card and swapping out the battery. Also, this doesn't have a little slot for the D-tap battery, which I recommend because that's what this is, you know, set up for, so that you can run the power through the D-tap. If you decide to run it via USB-C as the trickle, you can, but I haven't found the correct cable that still gives you the flexibility of utilizing the LCD on this camera, you know, in its best form with the USB-C at the same time. That's why I would much rather run the D-tap battery to make sure that I have full accessibility to this LCD, especially on this camera, and I'll explain why. Because for the first time, I actually think that this is a camera that you can use without an external monitor. Like with a kit like this and without an external monitor, I think you can run it with this LCD. And this is what I had said that I was going to foreshadow, and I forgot to mention, but I feel like the bad part about this 4-inch LCD on the Nikon ZR, and what I was able to notice with it right away, is that it has kind of automatically already ruined all of the other LCD screens on all of my other cameras because of how nice this LCD is. I'm just being honest. It's one of those things that I was like, man, it would have been better to have never tried it at all than to like see what is capable of this camera with this LCD, because I don't think that you would need an upgrade. I think you can use this camera for the entirety of its life with the native LCD and you'll be fine. It is not only like that good, it's just the size of it makes it that good. Like I was using it from across the way over here on the live stream, and I was just looking at it while I was setting it up, and I'm like, man, I can see myself clearly from here, like if it had a legit external monitor. And nope, that was it. So now to finish it up, you just need 3 screws, 2 on the top, right? Everything lines up, everything's nice and flush. LCD, you have your spot, so if you need to remove the battery, but it's also concealed by the LCD, you're able to utilize it in its full entirety. Like I said, you got a nice perch, and because of the way that they designed this camera, like the minimalistic aspect of this camera, right, that it doesn't have a lot of buttons, just like leads to being perfect for this kit. Because if you're using it in run and gun, you're just set, right? This kit or this cage gives you a nice perch on the handle. And then, like I said, is the first one where I think this is a viable LCD. And last but not least is you're just gonna add the battery to it. This is the first one that I said, like, yeah, we have a top handle, right? And when you add the top handle, this is another thing that I'm really like, I pay attention to. I can't always nail because of the cameras themselves, but I'm always paying attention to and trying to make it the best balanced camera possible. So the balance is literally right here, where if you can just hold it with one finger, and you can see it on this front camera, right? It is literally like on the knuckle. If I put my finger right there, as you can see, I can hold the whole camera up on one finger, and it's well balanced with this kit. Front to back with the battery, got a nice perch. And like I said, even though it has a handle, I think this is the first time where I don't think I'll be putting an LCD. Like, I would just be leaving it just like this, and this is like a very minimalistic setup. Get the D-tap battery plugged in. It has amazing native cooling, so it doesn't overheat, and this LCD is plenty big enough to be used handheld like this. And so now one less thing that you would have to power up in addition with this, you know, like the little V-mount battery, right? The micro V-mount. So if you're just using this battery to power up the camera, and the camera is natively powering up the LCD, you're gonna have an all-day kit. The only thing that I would tell you is, if possible, get yourself a 2 terabyte, you know, like basically a 2 terabyte card, and then you're set for all day. Because if you're gonna be shooting in Red RAW, you're getting about like 40 minutes for yeah, these files are big. I think you're getting about 40 minutes in the big codec, in its like most ample codec in the red R3D NE. I think you're getting about like 40 minutes. Yep. If max, maybe like an hour. So if you need more than that, just know that with a setup like this, the limitation is going to be your memory. But now if we look at the bottom, like I said, this gives you full access to your battery and to your memory card. So now you don't have the door flopping sideways. And if you're going to be running the dummy battery, it's going to also be a lot cleaner, where you're able to just tuck it away. And my infinite little slot here into the compartment, so that any extra cable that's coming between the dummy battery and the D-tap, you can just snug in there so that it's out of the way. And this is a super compact, super minimalistic Rig Junkie setup, and gives you all of the mounting accessories that your heart can desire for rigging this up however you like, which is the, you know, the main thing about the Rig Junkies. And it being very light, it just adds a little bit weight, but mostly the battery. And yeah, and that's it. I'm really excited for this. And once again, Blake, thank you very much for reminding me on this, because as you can see, there's so many things going on that it could just easily slip my mind, and I need to do a lot better of documenting these things. So an extra half an hour, what I'm gonna do, like I said, I'm gonna cut it out right from the main live stream, but I'm also going to save it so that I could actually maybe repurpose it. I'm gonna try to reuse it somehow. But you know what? Maybe not. Maybe I'll just remake it, because I need to make more content. And instead of doing it here, I'm going to do it over here on my FX30 with the top down, because the wood, you know, as the desktop, gives a much better contrast. And I love all the images that I get off of my FX30. So I'll redo it with pleasure. But that's it. Blake, teaser just for you and for those of you who made it and hung out here. But that's just another reason for you guys to like and subscribe, and make sure that you're in here for the like behind the scenes stuff and all the extra bits, right? I'm gonna try to see if maybe you see, like, this is something that I might cut out and make members only, right? Just add that to the list. So Thanks again, guys. Once again, thank you for hanging out. You guys are the ones who make this happen. Before I officially go, let me go ahead and see what you guys were commenting. Okay. It says using the internal mic. Yeah. Yep, no fans needed. Hey, brother. I'm guessing you have a 3D printer yourself, right? Let me know, like, just to confirm that you have your own 3D printer. Thank you, Randy. ProRes LT is coming like this month. That's the rumors, but as of right now, is not official. I would love to get a smaller codec, in ProRes, something that's like a lot usable, so that you can get more out of the memory cards. Because that's one of the things that I love about my FX30. I got a 1 terabyte card, and and even in the beefiest codec, I have days of recording on my 1 terabyte card, like days. I have like 3 or 4 days still in memory on there, and because I haven't had the need to like erase anything, it's just living on that card. I'm like, why? If I ever need to go back to it, it's a lot easier to find it there than it is to find it in my hard drives. So I digress. I need to reprint my Rig Junkie backs. Haha, all mine are gray. I wasn't sure how much I like them. I love them. Oh man, thank you. That's the ultimate praise that I can get. Somebody saying that they love your designs, bro. That you giving me, you're earning all the brownie points. Yes, Randy, 266 is done. Thank you, sir, for hanging out here. Says yes, you have your own printer. Okay, so the first thing that I did when I first wanted to get this out, even before I did the little short on the video for this, was I put it on a new thing, which is just, here's a public service announcement, right? For those of you who might be interested in getting any of my Rig Junkie kits that you might not have your own 3D printer, where there's this print farm company / YouTube channel called Slant 3D. And I had mentioned them on my Cities God previously, and they created a 3D print on demand system. So even though I would love to handle everything and have everything run through my fourth wall, I was trying to provide 3 different types of like versions of the Rig Junkie kits. Version 1, which is STL files, just you have your own printer, you go ahead and get the hardware and you put the pieces together because you like to tinker, and that's it, right? Like that's the STL files. Those are found free off of my fourth wall and through Maker World, and in that aspect you're able to do it on your own. The second step was selling the actual printed hardware, like the core, and that's what I was trying to do through my fourth wall. Well, with all of my other obligations and the things that I have on my plate, I really can't handle the increase in that I would like to see of people using the product, right? And expecting my small little micro print farm here to handle that type of load, especially when I would love for that to just take off and have a lot of people purchasing the core because they want the product. What I was able to do using this product or this service, Slant Portal and Transport, I think it was called, or something like that. There's links at the bottom or in the description for it. They're going to be handling all the infrastructure. So just like I do with my merch here that I have for the words, the tongue. Let me get something to lubricate. Okay. So the same way that I have fourth wall handling all of my merch, where I just make the designs, and if somebody purchases it, they handle the shipping and everything like that. That same concept is what Slant is doing with 3D printing. So I was able to put my FX30 and my FX or the ZR kits on there, so that if you don't have your own 3D printer, you could actually purchase it and they'll handle all of the shipping and everything. It's just going to be super convenient, so that, like, let's say it does start picking up and people want to have this item in their hands, they can handle all of that. And only if somebody actually purchases it, will I get the benefit of getting like the money coming into my account because of the purchase of the item. And that's where that's set up. So I set that whole thing up before I even made my previous video. And now that that's set, the only thing that's left to do is to do the backtracking, which is now put the free STL files on my fourth wall and on Maker World. So that's the next step. The last piece of the kit, right, which is back onto my fourth wall, which is, let's say for example, you want the kit but you don't want to even put it together yourself. Well, that's where I will take the hands-on experience and bring it back to me, where if you don't want to put it together, well, I will have like the top tier pricing, which is basically like I'll be doing all of the purchasing of all of the parts for you. I will be putting it together, hand built, and printing it on my own printer and then shipping that out directly. That's gonna have the highest price tag of all, of course, but if you want that, that's still gonna be an option that's going to be available. So those are gonna be the 3 tiers. STL files for free, purchase it off of Portal if you really need it and you don't have a printer yourself. And then the last case of supporting me directly the most, which is you want it made by me and built by me, shipped by me, with all the parts ready to go, so that when you get it, you don't have to do anything except just throw your camera into the kit and start using it. So those are the 3 levels of the Rig Junkie kit that I have set up. And as of right now, the STLs on Maker World and on my website, and the files themselves, or the actual printed kit coming through the Portal service. That's where I'm at right now. The last thing is to set up the links, or the listings, not the links, the listings on fourth wall for the complete kit. I have it for the A7C Mark II, but I need to do it for the FX and also now the ZR. And that's where we'll have it, and that will be it. That's the plan. So you have your own printer. I believe you follow me on Maker World. If not, you can do that as well. I'll be posting it up there first, and it should be there by tomorrow. I would say by tomorrow, most likely. If I don't get around to it tonight, I'll be doing it tomorrow afternoon. So there you go. And boom, it says it's official, and that's it. Now this is officially over with the secret extra stream for members only in the future. Thank you guys as always for hanging out here. Blake, it's a pleasure, and I can't wait to converse with you more about this and many other things in the future. So I appreciate you and your time. And bro, like the fact that you used my product and that you didn't know that you were gonna like it so much and now you're liking it even more, that's probably the best compliment that I could have heard. So I really appreciate you, and I appreciate all of you for still hanging out here with me. That's it, episode 266. We did it. Completed, on our way to 6 years in 2026. This is gonna be a big year for me, guys. When it's the Rig Junkie kits that I'm gonna be seeing floating around there, also my application for anamorphic, and everything that I'm gonna be doing in between. I'm excited for 2026, and I'm excited for all of you to join me in this adventure. So take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you, you, next time. Talk to you.